Good day here. This is the same day it was this morning, and thanks again. You know, I really appreciate you viewing these videos and taking the power on yourselves, gaining the knowledge, putting on the robe, taking off down that road. So you guys are just incredible. How'd you like Drew this morning? You'll be getting that, I think. It'll be coming up, and he's a good kid. Okay, so I want to keep going and going over your cases and your questions because I've got a lot of them. And so I want to go over them. And, you know, a lot of this I'm going over the same. It's a repetitive thing. It's simple to understand. And once this all clicks, you know, you really got it. And then it's just a journey down the road, you know. So appreciate all your love and time and devotion to your own health. You know, it's a good thing. A lot of people just can't dedicate, you know, they just can't get enough self-love to work on themselves. They're just ratted out. And, you know, this world is pretty tough. Here, I'm a musician who suffers from chronic myofascial pain. My pain has been a major setback for my music. I have heard you say in a couple of videos that creative people have weak adrenals. Does that mean if I fix my adrenals I won't be creative anymore? That's a good question. No, but it did get you in touch with your female side. It did get you in touch with emotions and the flow of energy and love and stuff like this. So, no, but necessary, you know, to keep the lymph out and to keep the body healthy. If you're a singer, you just got to keep your lymph system clean because of the stress of the vocal cords all the time. And we used to have a singer's voice box T. I think we're out of that one, but we've used that the world over for professional singers and stuff. I don't know why we're not why we're out of that, but this is a big dilemma for me since my creative art is my. No, you don't have to worry about that, man. Chad, quit it. Just get your body healthy. Keep those lymphs moving. Get those kidneys moving. Because, matter of fact, being in touch at these high levels really will bring the creative force through you. I mean, the more spiritually inclined you are, or the more awakened you are. I mean, there's a lot of words you could associate with spirituality. The more creativity that you yield, especially if you become a traveler more consciously, then the beauty and ecstasy will bring joy and music of another flavor. So I don't know what kind of musician you are, but I too, I'm an old musician. I play the 12-string guitar, organ, trumpet, and piano. Creative people have weak adrenals. Go for it, Chad. Don't worry about losing your creativity, man. Miss September, I think it's because parents are passing down the... Yeah, this was a comment on the following through on the genetics, and I've answered that yesterday in a video there. Love your work, Dr. Morse. Says ibuprofen, a sulfur-based product. You know what? I was going to look for you. I didn't. You just look on the container, see the chemical word for ibuprofen, and see if it's a sulfite, you know, sulfur compounds, and see. Thanks for this, Eric. I appreciate your viewing and taking the time here, my friend. Appreciate it. Just read on there. It'll say sulfate, like morphine, sulfate. You notice when people go on morphine, they start going downhill, and they die much quicker? Absolutely. Morphine, sulfate. Sad stuff sometimes. But you know what? It's a world. This is a touch-and-go planet. You know, you're here, you're on. You spend some time, you take off. Okay. We got to all get used to that, you know. It's a touch-and-go planet. I used to be Air Force, and, you know, you touch and go. You know, you play around the airfield. Dr. Morris, I ask you if there is a possibility to repair a torn ACL. I ex-tore hers 3 years ago, even though they took a part of the ligament from another area. Could she fully? Yeah, and again, she's only 17 years old. So we know at 17 years old the probability that she has weak kidneys and adrenals is probably up in the 90 percentile. So we know that that's going to compromise the lymph drainage. And a lot of times where you see repair very slow, you know that the lymph isn't cleaning those acids from the trauma and just from the cells out of those tissues. So you're not going to repair well in an acid medium. We've talked about that, and understanding the corrosive effect of acids understands that you have to remove that acid corrosiveness to be able to rebuild tissue, which is more of a base chemistry experience. So therefore you would want those kidney and adrenals and make sure you're filtering. On the other side of this coin, remember the parathyroid and calcium utilization. I would definitely pop on like the Calma Plus. It's a little CalMeg in there, which I don't agree with, but I've said this before, labs are, crazy about isolates. But anyway, in a temporary time frame to accelerate the healing of this, that would be important. So remember, she's always putting trauma on these tissues by daily walking even. So you head off to that way raw, and this is when you would probably pump the greens, the alfalfa juices, and another case would be taking a lot of kelp, stuff like that. Probably 2 tablets 3 times a day, probably 450 milligram tablets or so. Take a couple of them twice a day or 3 times a day. Just spend some time, accelerate the healing. At the same time, though, you've got detoxification that you have to consider behind this, because you have to be able to remove the lymph and get that lymph moving there. So all acids are always being filtered through, and everybody's good, and the blood can do its job. This is Miss Stahl. How you doing, Miss Stahl? How's the kids? You say that fruits are picked before they are ripe are not alkaline. I know they're not so much not alkaline, but they tend to be more acidic. So however you view that. Nitrogen is the growth stage. The acid actually is the stimulator, the movement. So we stimulate the growth of trees artificially, and it tends to over-acidify things. But sugar is the ripening stage in a fruit. That's where it's sweet, it tastes good, it's ripe. That's the alkalizing stages. So a lot of this fruit picked unripe tends to be, depending upon the fruit, more acidic, less alkaline. Let's put it that way. Some cases, like pineapple, you can tell how acidic it is. I'll get a sore in my mouth if I eat too much pineapple, and if you've tasted a pineapple off a plant, it's real hard to eat these yellow pineapples. And I think it's an insult to the way our grocery stores and the way our produce is served to us. And that should be the staple of man, is the produce section. I don't know, the meat counter is definitely not the staple. It is for a lot of people, unfortunately. So fermentation actually, Ms. Stahl, is what ripens. The fermentation is what actually ripens, if you can't even use the word ripen, these fruits after they're picked. Now remember, I said the banana is the only food that ripens nutritively after it's picked. The other fruit ferment to get ripe, which you can taste a fermented ripeness because there's no sweetness. It's kind of like a hard peach ripened by fermentation in the window. There's no pop and spray and ecstasy from the delicious flavor of it. It's kind of got that flavor. Consuela. Hi, Dr. Morse. Thanks for great videos. I appreciate that, David. Thank you. I have a request. My brother has autism and Tourette's. Can you please do a video on autism? I read this a while back, David, and I've been trying to slide that autism in there. Again, going back to the reality of the young people and the weakness within the adrenal glands and kidneys, but specifically the adrenal glands. Just take a look at your brother's blood pressure, for an example, you're going to find it really low. Now, he might have times of excitement where it's up, but I guarantee you, dear brother has, is this your brother again? You have real low blood pressure. And this is the autonomic nervous system, is the adrenal glands. Now, CNS, I am seeing a lot of problems with that, but we're coming out of the bowel colon destruction age of high proteins and dairy products. So we're coming out of an age of massive destruction to the human cell. So genetically speaking, neurologically speaking as well, we have serious neurological problems. And there's only one way to overcome this, and that's the word regeneration. Regeneration and genetic remembering. Regeneration and genetic remembering. Key factors in what your focus is. And or rejuvenation. Sorry, Life Rejuvenator. I know, I got so many things going, I did misread your name. I apologize. Rejuvenator, regenerator, we're all in it together. So sorry about that. But I'm with you. I'm with you. But autism, again, a lot of cases have come in here after the vaccinations. So I followed this court case, or this district court judge said there was no, and that's the trouble. You never want to go in front of a corrupt judge without a jury, because you have nothing to, you need a jury. But the bottom line to that is there's way too many cases where the child, or the individual even, started going neurologically the other way after thimerosal. There is absolutely no question with that. You add the amalgam fillings, you add the neurotoxicity of just this planet right now, with all the neurotoxicity around, including perfumes, colognes, bathroom deodorizers, a lot of household chemicals are neurotoxins, the high radons, and you've got a whacked out situation here with neurologically weak kids. And this is what you're seeing. The only remedy you have is to detox the body, which, one, will help to remove any neurotoxicity. Two, the lymph system is so bad in these kids that's a big key. Notice how some kids get it after a vaccination and some don't. Why? What's the difference between the two? Goes right back to the genetic weakness of the kidneys and adrenals, the degree of that, but also what else would you might think? Yes, the degree of lymph toxicity. Your lymph system cleans you. If your lymph system's backed up, it ain't going to clean you. So heavy metals, neurotoxins, all these things will go and stay. Blood will carry them, and boom, that's it. They're stuck. They'll stay. And that's problematic. It's all about the lymph system cleaning you. So this is why it's essential to always get in autism or anything, it's essential to get into that lymph system, and that's through the doorway of the kidneys and adrenals, and of course there's the autonomic nervous system. Now the colon, we've talked a lot about the colon. Real essential to clean up your GI tract, because there is no such thing as a healthy bowel, and no such thing as healthy kidneys, no such thing as healthy adrenals. I don't know where you would live now to even have, islanders are the only folks that really come out on top in this situation worldwide. I've got clients every country in the world, many, and I can tell you the islanders rank the best in their health than any of the other ones. My own little China study. But it's easy to tell after a while here. Someone asked me, I think Drew handed me this, or someone. Some guy asked about how do you market yourself if you graduate from our schools or go through our school or you get a certificate for a detoxification specialist. When I first started out, and that was a long time ago there, and I know Jensen started out, it was like a long time between clients, days or weeks before you had clients coming in to see you. Most of us were starving on the vine. We had, like a musician starting out or an artist, you have to do other work. because there's just no way you can support yourself. So the suggestion is that you go out in the woods. I said this before. You go out in the woods, or you go out on the beach, or you go wherever you can, and you start articulating your gig. You start articulating what you're learning here, what you know, what you see, your own personal experiences, and you wrap that in a ball, and you start articulating that to the trees, to the animals, and you get your spiel down. I suggest you go find somewhere and put on a lecture. Get in a newspaper, find a lecture hall free. Libraries have free meeting rooms. I've rented so many meeting rooms in my life between Health and Eckankar. I can't even tell you. Thousands of lectures I've done, thousands of them. And so that's what you have to do. You know, when you become the teacher, you know, that's when you start learning. And so set yourself up as a teacher. And go out and get your spiel down. It's going to be, you know, and get some people to talk to. Advertise it in the newspaper, free talk. And it's going to be on a rejuvenation or regeneration, either one. It's going to be on how you develop a sense of wellness, a sense of health. Detoxification specialist. People are learning detoxification is the essential need to get well. And you can learn how detoxification is the golden key to health and vitality. You can name it anything you like to name it. And you go out and you give the talk, or you go to American Cancer Society, the prostate group, or the breast cancer group, the man-to-man, whichever group you go to, and say, would you like to have a talk on getting healthy? But these people are waiting for lecturers. So you go out and drum up some, you know, a lecture to put on, or teach a little class. Harder for those that are new with this because you need some experience behind you. But, you know, when you set up a small class of something, you know, an hour every night, and you teach them so much for, say, a week or something. Or, like I said, do a talk, do a lecture, break yourself through the ice. No matter how scared you are, get up, belly up, speak from the heart, speak from truth. Don't sit there and read it. Speak from what you know to be true, but you've got to get that down with the plants and the animals first. They got to know first, and so that's how you have to work yourself into being able to take what you see and articulate it through this mouth, because these two are a little different. This is much smaller of a space than the mind, and so it takes a bit to bring all of what you see and know into a small little room of verbiage and being able to articulate that. So you work on that. Set yourself up in your home even, and advertise yourself as a detoxification specialist or a health guru, if you will, or whatever you want to call yourselves, and work that way with health. You're working with people's health. You don't care what their problem is. You're working with health. And if you need help with some of your clients, you know, you can call in to Jennifer and them and tell them you're working with some clients now, and what would you advise? But keep in mind, keep it real simple. You'll be safe from the state and from the government, and yet you'll be able to help that person. Just think as you're talking to your sister or your mother, what would you say to them? And you keep working your spiel, you keep working your gig up. And then you go forth and conquer, you know, and, you know, sometimes talks are shaky, scary, you know. Public speaking is probably the most feared thing on the planet. But realize you're a channel for the Supreme Being, and always remember that. Don't try to remember what to say. That never works well. Just talk. Just like you were taking off talking. But if you practice this first, you get out and you practice this outside or where you're around other things or to your friends, you practice this. How you bring this. How do you start talking? Where do you start from? How about cells in two major fluids? And I've actually given you, if you look back, I've actually set you up with the way you talk about this, because I'm talking to you as you would want to talk to others. The body's nothing but cells and two fluids. And how many sides to chemistry is there? Only two. Think of how you can relate to that person. Male side of chemistry and females. I always go into that. It helps people understand that the men we know are the most aggressive side of the principle here of the genders. Females are more passive and loving and healing. Men are more aggressive and outward. Women are more inward. So you can use those. And there's all levels of that, just like there's all levels of acids and bases. And you get that down, and that's what you want to teach them. You want to teach them that their bodies are cells and two fluids. 99% of their problems is in the lymph fluid because it deals with the acid side of chemistry. And get that down, and then go out and start speaking. And then from those lectures, you can set yourself up some appointments. And then you start working with their health issues. Put them on a diet. Put them on the basic protocols and things like that. Those of you that get a certificate here, you get a local distributor's cost on your herbs. That's a good income for you. And you start working with that. And you start making yourself some money. And you start helping others. And everybody wins. And that's the key, is that everybody wins. Not just one person or two people. Everybody wins. When it's a win-win-win, God's got to smile, because everybody's winning here, and that's the goal. And you have to support yourself. No one can do anything free in today's world. We do, because we have those that can pay. So those that can pay help us to give to those that can't. Somebody's got to. So we're stuck doing that. We're okay with that because we're God people. You know, I have no qualms helping anybody. Ever. But I also have to eat and pay rent and everything else. So I live to week like everybody else. I suppose if I was a medical doctor, I wouldn't have to think about that. Some of these nature paths are insane in what they charge. This is Daniel. Look at Mercury, god of... Yeah, oh, I see. God of money, thieves. Interesting thing you're bringing up here. I like that. Rockefeller's just a four... Oh, yeah. I mean, you can really tear into this. I don't know how deep you can go. Some people get real freaked out if you go too deep into this system. The Illuminati, the Trilateral Commission, those few bankers, those five bankers, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Warburgs, people get real freaked out if you go too deep into this. But, you know, it's time that all the cards are on the table. Everybody understand what's going on here, because there's some serious things going on here that's not so good for everyone. So yeah, you're exactly right in this, Daniel. That's serious, and I've studied this for 17, 18 years now, and you know, it's just, I had to pull away a little bit because it's just like a big ball of negative energy sucking you into it, and you have to be careful not that they will suck you into it, because these poor souls are so lost into this that they don't realize they're hurting other people. And of course, karma is a fact, so whatever. But still, yeah, this EKG, I'm still going to pursue that. I don't know. I'm a little warrior guy right now. I don't know, and I'm trying to stay balanced in being that. But I like to be that, because if you don't either stand up for truth and honesty and integrity, or you'll get ran over, you know. And I think it's time we all stand up for truth. It's like they did in Portugal. You know, the War of the Roses or Carnations or whatever it was, where they just took everybody, you know, thousands of people got roses or incarnations, went up to the Presidente's palace and said, "You're done. You know, you want to fight, okay, but you're done." And when you're looking at, and you're seeing that now, some of these dictators are just slaughtering their people. I thought the United Nations are supposed to have some job in this world. Thanks, Life Rejuvenator. Thanks, man. I love you guys. You too, Brian, Edna, and curing cancer using our own technology of emotion. I wish I had 15 years ago. Let me see. My mom died of pancreatic cancer, died of septicemia. Septicemia. Look at that crap. From steroids. Shut down his kidneys and adrenals, and he got septicemia from it. Absolutely. Oh, I know, sweetheart. MX. You know what? A sad thing. But that's why you gain your knowledge. And these poor souls that went before you were there to help us as learning tools too. They serve a good purpose in waking us up. If we don't wake up, then they didn't serve a good purpose for that. And I think that the fact that you're getting aware will help save a lot of other people, because your heart's in the right place. You're good. You know that that this is an issue. So you take that on, and you walk the road of honesty, truth, integrity. That's what we need here. Your herbs are not thanks in the UK. The problem is, and who is this? Thank you, Song. Customs is the problems, and we're trying to help you the best we can with customs. But sometimes customs just rapes the people. Canadian customs are hard on the people. Canadian prices are outrageous anyway, but real hard on the people. So I feel for you up that we don't know what else we can do, to do that, because we work a very thin margin anyway, and so it's somewhat difficult to deal with that. That's why we set up local distributor prices. We've tried every way we can to help you and yet make a living, and keep the doors open. So we're doing everything we can, and we, trust us. We're not trying to do everything we can. And this is light and easy. Dr. Morris is wondering, when you talk about going hard with all fruit for the nervous system stuff, would the next level be to go on a water fast? You know what? Water fasting, everyone should water fast for a week. I mean, try 2 or 3 days, but work yourself up to a week or 10 days. At least try a 3-day water fast, and you'll see what I mean. If you've never done that, try a 3-day water fast. Real powerful. But if I'm going after neurological function, I actually want some juice. I really like the power, the chemistry of the fruits and berries. I just think that between the flavonoids, the astringents, for the cleaning, for the whole roundedness that fruits and berries give us, that they really make the difference in neurological regeneration. They just really make the difference. Keeping in mind you're cleaning the lymph, and you're also using neurological herbs. And when you really go after this in a great way, it's amazing to see neurological regeneration. Yeah, it's going to take you 1 year to 2 years. Okay, we've had a few, very, very few, that haven't been able to help. But it's a very few. And I can only think of 2 in 40 years. That's how few. And one of them is a good friend of mine who's an osteopath, and I just can't seem to liken me why it's taken him so long. And just that karma, I guess, I don't know what to say about it, because we've had lots of brain lesion cases of MS, and just like the video you saw, same way. So, yeah, I like the fruits in nerve regeneration, but try water fast there. Thanks for the comment there, guys. Is that milk, Manon? What's that, bro? Mats. Swede. Hey. I wonder how long I can stay on that formula. Let's see. Is there any downsides to use it as a daily tea? No. I've got people taking these herbs for years. I've had little old ladies, 80 pounds, taking these herbs full bore for years. Children, years. Not that I promote that, because I don't. My philosophy is let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. Good philosophy to have. But boy, when I've seen the power of these herbs and what they have, most of them are just vegetables. So when you see the power of that, it's like, wow. So, I enjoy that, and take off and keep detoxifying, man. Thanks, Matt. Dr. Morse, can you please inform people more about the reptilian race? If I do that, now I love your picture here. I love Native Americans anyway. Stir 8 Indian hair. Interesting name. I freak a lot of people out, and so I better be careful about too much of that. But Brenda can tell you about a face-to-face episode with one that the light of God came around her, encased her. The reptilian popped out of this guy's face, totally turned into a reptilian face. She was arguing about God with him, and it was amazing. And I just happened to look over. We were sitting in different places in a house, and I just happened to look over, and I saw the whole thing take place. They're very interesting, but they're very much an issue that we have here. And these are walk-ins, and they'll take the unconscious. But I'm afraid to go there with some of you because really some of this stuff is on the negative side, like the New World Order. Unless it's a spiritual New World Order, it's not going to work because you can't have a world order based upon greed and corporate fascisms. You can't do that. Your world order has to be one of love and respect and integrity. That's the only way you're going to have a true one world order. Most of these people are the wealthy, greedy people, the bankers that want to own it all. Look at Monsanto. Look at all these corporations. It's sickening. The World Health Organization, they should go to jail right there. War crimes against humans on the planet. I mean, this is a sick thing. It's like Sweden. So you're stuck with the Codex thing. I mean, it's just disgusting. So I'm a little cautious, my friend, about getting too much into that. It'll freak it out. Ron Paul, of course, that man just needs to tell the truth about the IRS and why he wants the Federal Reserve out. But he's not being totally truthful. 5 minutes. There's that whip again. So I love Ron Paul, but you need to strengthen up, Ron, and get stronger here. Tell the truth more. Road to Wellville. I received my herbal formulas. Oh, good deal. Huh? Saw a marked improvement in my energy level. Good, man. Go for it. No more morning and afternoon cat naps. Good, man. No, this is a lovely lady. Yes, sorry. I also stopped drinking so much water after learning that my kidneys were not filtering. There, you feel better now. See how that is with the water, sweetheart? See how that is? Most people, I speak by experience. I try to because I bought into it one time too. I mean, it's just what you do. I've got 5 minutes. Darn it. Hey, can you talk about being a sovereign citizen? Cintron, I'm gonna have to get into that one time. I'll do a video just on that. And those that don't want to get into that, just don't watch it, okay? But I'll get into the sovereignty of each one of you as a state citizen versus a federal citizen. A U.S. citizen is a federal citizen. If you look in the Black's Law Dictionary, it's funny. There's a different dictionary for legalese as opposed to the Webster's. So what one word means in Webster's can mean totally opposite in law verbalage. So the Black's Law Dictionary, one of the most common, but look up U.S. and U.S. citizen and all that, and you'll see that it's a federal citizen. Well, if you're born in one of the 50 states, you're a state citizen. If you come in here and get nationalized, you're a U.S. citizen, you're a federal citizen, and they have all rights over you. And that's why they try to make everybody a U.S. citizen. When you get your social, I'll get into that later about the Social Security and all that. I want to keep this kind of pure here. But thanks for the question there, Cintron. I mean, you're going to pull it out of me, aren't you? Yeah, I know you guys are. Let me see here. Lemonade. My husband has the changes in me. I feel like a new woman. Lemonade, this is a beautiful testimony, Susan. I mean, you're just a beautiful soul here, honey, and a beautiful testimony of what you work to do, and you work this, Kelly. Good example of what you can achieve here, honey. Keep going. Keep marching down that road. You ride the humps and bumps, and pretty soon the road levels out, and it's straight ahead, and the light keeps getting brighter, guys. So have fun. I will come back here. Indiana Banana, how's that leg looking? Here's a good testimonial here. The tumor is way down from what it was. Good work, Indiana Banana. Keep it straight. Keep it strong. Do a great fast for me. Keep that till that tumor comes out of there and those legs are nice and clean. We want to show everybody on YouTube what you can do with legs like that and cancer of the leg. Okay? You're doing a good job. All of you, bye-bye. We'll see you again.